Hello, Dark Nation. Welcome back. I'll be doing a deck profile on my Branded Despia deck profile today. So let's get right into it. For the monsters, I'm playing one Clem. You only really need one. You can play more than one if you really want to. But for my current list, I'm only playing one. I'm playing for the other Despia package. I'm playing 3 Aluber, 1 Tragedy, and 1 Ad Libitum. 1 Ad Libitum to get the Branded and Red combo off, if you know what it is. You add this, banish the Mirror Jade, and banish one other card in hand or on field. Make Chimera. Then with Adlib's effect, bring back the Mirror Jade, the Tragedy to add a Luber, and you can also dump the Ad libitum off of Granguno, a Luber to add a Branded Fusion or any of your branded targets. For the Bestial package, I'm playing 1 Lubellion and 1 Sarnier. And this is controversial, but I'm playing 1 Magnemite. Bestial Lubellion, I'm playing it for because it's a light target when you're playing Branded Fusion. When you activate Branded Fusion, you send this and the Fallen Albaz make the Albion. Also has a grave effect. You can pop your Albion or a monster that's a dark dragon, pop it, summon this. Then during the main phase, you can set Branded continuous spell and trap face up, which if you don't have access to Lost, you usually go for regain, or depending on if you know what you're going against, you usually go regained. Most of the time I do, but it's very conventional to go Lost as well, just so you can get more combo off. Sarnier, because it is a pretty good Bestial. Also, it can also dump your copy of Retribution or your copy of Opening if you really need it. And if you have no other ways to get to your Sarnier, or just because it's also an extender, Bestial Magnemite, it's pretty good. So you have some protection. For the Fallen Albaz cards, I'm playing 2 Blazing, 3 Fallen, 2 Mercurier, 1 Kit, and of course 3 Albion. 2 Blazing, in my opinion, is perfect. I don't like it at 3. It could be a brick in some cases. Yes, there is some cases where it's not, especially if you have fusion dupe or anything like that. But I prefer it at 2. It's always come up better as 2, so you don't get so many copies in hand. Fallen Wildbaz, it's a must too, because he's your bread and butter of the deck. He's your Branded Fusion target. He's the main guy, the main myth. You know what I mean? I'm playing 2 Tri-Brigade Mercurier. I usually do also side one out depending on the matchup, because it happens. And I play 1 Kit because so I can get some more recycles, and so I have more access to get to my branded targets, like Branded Lost, Fusion, Branded Red, etc. And I'm playing 3 Albion, so you can have more draw power. And it's also a Dark Dragon, so it can also get the target off of your copy of Lubellion pretty well. For the rest of the monsters, I'm playing 2 Effect Veiler, 1 Ghost Spell, and 3 Ash as the rest of the monster and hand trap engine. I'm playing 1 Ghost Spell, 2 Effect Veiler because of the cross-out targets, as well as for the Ash as well. And Ash and Veiler are amazing in this format. I would probably play end perm over the 2 Veilers and the Bell. But this is my current list for right now, and I'm testing things out, and so far this is still pretty good, even if I don't have the end perm. These are really good substitutions, and it's also pretty good cross-out targets. Now moving on to the spells, I'm playing 3 Branded in Red, I'm playing 3 Opening, 1 Red, 1 Lost, and 1 Regained. Regained's an optional one, I won't lie. If you don't want to play Branded and Regain, I would suggest playing High Spirits. I'm not playing High Spirits in this particular build for right now, especially in this current list, because it's too bricky and it's not as consistent as I need it to be right now. And I feel like Regain has so many more opportunities, because with the way this deck is currently built and with the current format, Branded Regain has so many more options. Also, Lost, I play one of it. You normally only play one of it. I've seen people try to bump it up to 2. It's best at 1. Yes, it can get, people can easily Cosmic Cyclone it pretty easily, or if you got evenly matched and you couldn't protect it. But it's a good resource package. Opening, it's opening. You must play the 3/3. For the other spells, I'm playing 3 Fusion Dupe. For the engine, 1 Gold Sark, 1 Foolish. The 3 Fusion Dupe, honestly, most of the time, I usually go for the Blazing, for the Cartesia on that. It has 2 effects. You can summon it either from hand or from the deck. Depending on what I have, I usually summon the Blazing from deck, if I can. The Gold Sark from a Courier, and the Foolish for either Tragedy, most of the time, or Albion. If you have to, you could dump the Albion. It's not mandatory, it's not something you always want to do, but if you have another way to get Tragedy Engrave, or if you have it in hand, which it happens here and there, to be honest, but you're rarely going to have to do that. But Foolish Burial is morally there for the Tragedy target. For the non-engine spell and traps, I'm playing 1 Call By, 2 Cross Out, 2 Droplet, and 1 Instant Fusion. I'm playing the 1 Instant Fusion for the Millenniumize package. I'm playing the droplets, the Forbidden Droplet, so I can, to get around things, to break boards, etc. The Crossout target, so you can, playing Crossout so you can get, like, say, Brand Fusion. If you have this, and they want to, let's say, Ash it. Because most of the time, most people will Ash your Brand Fusion. Crossout Designator is a very good card for that. So you can stop them from ashing it out. For the traps, I'm only playing 3 traps for this deck. I'm playing 1 Retribution, which is pretty standard, and I'm only playing 2 Fusion Duplication. Most people either play 1 to 3. I'm going with the middle. I'm only playing 2. It's really good, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to see too many of it, and I don't like to see too many of it. Because without having like a fusion spell, a fusion spell in your grave, like Branded Fusion or any of that, this is pretty much dead, in my opinion. Branded Retribution, pretty good. It's a very good banish target, so you banish this, add Branded Fusion, Branded in Red, pretty good. And if you have two targets in grave of targets like, say, Rindrim, Albion, whoever, if you have 2 targets in grave of Fallen Abaz fusions, you can shuffle them back, negate, Or if you have one on field, you could just pop that and negate the activation of a spell or trap. Or a monster effect, which is pretty decent. Well, pretty good if you know what I mean. Now moving on to the extra deck monsters. I'm playing 2 Grangu, 2 Dust Dragon. I'm playing 1 Rindrim. Playing 1 Titanic Clad. I'm playing the 1 Rindrim for the Fallen Abaz. So if you can get a Fallen Abaz engrave, this works really good if you Mirror Jade on their turn, send Rindrim. If you can, banish this off of its effect, summon the Fallen Abaz, discard, use their field. It's like a walk-in Super Poly, basically. Then Grand Goodnell, if they stop your Brand of Fusion, if you can at least get this out and send Albion, it's really freaking good. Really good. Or you can also use this to send your Adlib. Most of the time you would like to send your Adlib off of this. Titanic Glad to get your Quem. That's its main use. Or if you have to, you can get your Fallen of Albaz. But most of the time you want to get your Quem. Avalantis to add your Brand of Fusion or Fusion Duplication. It's a very good card. It's optional for most branded builds. I prefer it. I won't lie. I'm playing 2 Albion, 1 Lubellion, and of course the 2 Mirror Jade. 2 Mirror Jade seems like a must now. It used to be optional if you wanted to play 1 or 2. I've seen a lot of builds with playing only 1, which is not bad. I won't lie. But it seems very interesting. Now moving on to the non-branded fusion monsters. For the branded and red targets, I play the 1 Guardian Chimera and the 1 Manelium, the Revealer. Manelium, the Revealer, it only takes an extra deck monster and a card from hand, which works perfect. It also recycles your fusion spells or traps. It has a quick effect to basically mimic. It basically mimics and destroys 1 on field. And then for the Dragunal effects, I usually go for the Quartus, or if I have to, just Blazing, go into Quartus. For backup support, I play 1 Drixtopellion, a must. And for the instant, I play 1 Millennium Eyes. Pretty good card, I won't lie. Now moving on to the side deck, I'm playing 3 Nibiru, 1 Reaper for the mirror match, which oddly comes up a little too much. I might bump this up to 2, but it's been pretty good at 1, especially for the mirror match, just to banish both their Mirror Jade. So if they try to go into Lubellion, they can't, especially if they're going first. 2 Lightning Storm, pretty standard, to be honest with you. 2 Dark Ruler, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, and of course the 3 Evenly. I have tried main decking Evenly with the branded build. It weirdly does work, but you want to keep this on the side most of the time. If you have to, you can go right into it, if you know what I mean.